and welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Gretchen Carey, standing in for Phil Gallagher. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington Council on Aging recently hosted a question and answer session with senior residents about the high school building project. Members of the BHS Building Committee, along with representatives from Dorr and Whittier and Consigli, the project's architecture and construction teams, were on hand to answer questions. Many residents voiced concerns about the cost of the project. Let's take a look.
The Burlington Council on Aging recently held a question and answer session on the high school building project with town officials, committee members, and architects for the project.
Well, I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to answer people's questions here at the Council on Aging. People are understandably concerned about voting yes on this debt exclusion because it is a lot of money.
The tax bills, everyone's tax bill went up in the last quarter, and that's only a regular increase. So you're talking huge increases, and we've got so many projects going now that this is in some point it's going to affect our bond rating.
We did mention that people who are on fixed incomes and such are likely to not have to pay as much as the average. Still a lot of money, but we also went over all the reasons why the MSBA didn't fund us.
And we've got no matching funds at all, which means we're doing it all on taxpayers' money. You're talking $500 million of everything that the town is spending. $500 million, including all these projects with the new school, the new police station, Fox Hill School, and then you got Sawsheen. We're going to have to give money to that, about $10 to $20 million to Sawsheen.
You know, we spent 2.5 years looking at this. We had architects, we had project managers, we had high school building construction companies, and we did try to figure out a way that we could do this either with just a renovation or the least expensive. And this is not a fancy project, but it allows us to avoid the disaster of a failed building system, which would disrupt everyone and cost at least as much, if not more money.
It's going to cost the taxpayers anywhere from probably $2,000 or more a year of all these projects. Eventually, this is what it's going to come to. And the senior citizens of this town is what made this town what it is today. And they shouldn't have to have this huge tax burden put on them.
I hope people will go and vote yes on November 15th or in early voting.
From the Burlington Council on Aging, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
The special election to decide the project is set for Saturday, November 15th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Early voting will be held November 6th through the 13th during town hall hours, except for Veterans Day, November 11th. Burlington Public Schools is expanding its effort to support students and families in need. After opening the Cambridge Closet at Burlington High School last year, the district has now introduced a second space, this time at Marshall Simons Middle School. The new Winn Street Closet offers clothing, shoes, and other essentials to local families in a safe and welcoming environment. School administrators and community leaders were on hand for the celebration. Elizabeth Fuller has the story.
Burlington school administrators as well as community leaders turned out to celebrate the grand opening of the Winn Street Closet at Marshall Simons Middle School.
3, coming, Kevin.
I think for me, when I took on this role, I got to sort of leave that school bubble and start doing more community work, which has been instrumental in helping me understand community needs, but how to help the students in our schools overall, understanding what we could provide, which I truly did not fully grasp until I took on this role.
It means we're giving kids access to things they might not have at home sometimes, whether it be shortage on hygienic products, or they're tight at home with money, or a variety of things that oftentimes leads kids that need stuff at school that they might not have access to it. We have that now.
At the mall, we often run into situations where we might have extra items that, could help people in need, and I think our challenge sometimes is getting matched up to where those needs are. We've worked with people helping people for years, so I reached out to them knowing that we had some store fixtures and hangers, and I knew that somebody out there could use them. And they were kind enough to connect us with Gloria. And then what transformed was something wonderful.
Today is the grand opening, but we have been reaching out to the school community to see if teachers would be willing to volunteer. It's an effort of love. So people that are willing to, when they have some time before school, after school, go through donations, hang up the donations, and then the next piece is going to be doing family appointments. We've seen in just the summer alone, when school was not in session, we serviced about 25 families, and throughout the school week, it could range anywhere from 3 to 10 families a week that we support.
We have 2 people that work in the building here, both Cheryl Bianchi and Julie McSweeney, that are going to be kind of our point people in the building every day, along with myself, and then through Gloria Watazik, who's the head of family community engagement for the district. So if they want to reach out to any one of us, we'd be happy to facilitate donations.
I think it's just, kind of leveling the playing field for every student, every family. They can have what they need, basically, and then they can start school and learn.
We have such a need. So the great thing about this is kids can come during the day, and they've already started coming.
It's through the work of a lot of other folks that have made this possible, but it's I think, a sign of how strong this community is, how much they care about our kids. So I think having the ability to students come down here if they're in need and not have to be embarrassed by it. We have all kinds of ways of now getting them access to things they might not have had before. So I think it's pretty cool, and again, it's the work of a lot of folks who made it possible.
Every teacher here has a key to the community closet, so it is really truly a community effort.
From the Winn Street Closet at Marshall Simons Middle School, I'm BNEWS reporter Elizabeth Fuller.
If you've been down Mall Road lately, you may have noticed work happening at the former Tuscan Kitchen. Tuscan Kitchen closed in August after nearly 11 years in business, and Tuscan Brands announced it would be introducing a new concept in the same space. The company recently went before the Select Board for a name change to Sorella and renovation approval. The interior updates are minor, but the exterior will get a full facelift. Sorella will feature a lighter, modern Italian menu compared to the hearty dishes that Tuscan Kitchen was known for. Sorella is expected to open in early January of 2026. Lahey Hospital and Medical Center has named Dr. Jeffrey Marx as its new Chief Medical Officer. Dr. Marx has been with Lahey since 1998, joining as a senior staff physician and eye surgeon. He has most recently served as Chief Value Officer and has been Interim Chief Medical Officer since 2024. Dr. Marx brings immense experience and clinical expertise, says Lahey President Dr. Susan Moffett-Bruce. His ability to foster teamwork and efficiency will help lead our medical staff in delivering exceptional care. Dr. Marx has also held multiple leadership roles at Lahey, including Interim Chair of Surgery, Chair of Ophthalmology, and Chief Medical Officer at the Peabody location. He's a professor at UMass Chan Lahey Regional Medical School and an adjunct professor at Tufts University. Burlington High School celebrated its 2025 Hall of Fame inductees at Cafe Escadrille on October 9th. Robert Paris was there and has this report.
It was a blast from the past as former students and coaches gathered at Cafe Escadrille for a night of recognition and honor at the BHS Athletic Hall of Fame.
This is my 5th induction ceremony with this group, and it's one of those weird things where there's a group of athletes that you've heard about, and now we're starting to get athletes that played while I've been here. Coach McCarthy going in tonight, Nelson, excuse me, going in tonight, awesome. She's worked with us. She's amazing for our kids. So we get to see that side of her, but never having seen the side of her with that as the athlete who ran in high school. Again, 2 great hockey teams going in a variety of others. Always a special moment when you get inducted to the Hall of Fame.
I spoke with a few of the inductees, including the son of the late Joe Cohane. Joe played baseball and hockey at BHS for all 4 years and was drafted by the Cleveland Indians after graduating in 1976.
Very good. You know, we had so many friends who played sports, and to be able to play different sports, baseball, hockey, with some of the same guys, some different, couldn't have been better. Very proud and very happy to be a part of the Burlington Hall of Fame. It's very nice.
During the evening, the committee also honored the late coach, James Trentini, who tragically lost his life on September 11th. His daughters accepted the honor on his behalf.
I am the eldest daughter of Jim Trentini. On behalf of my sisters, Pam and Paige, my brother Jim, and my aunts Patricia, Della, and Bernice, as well as my many cousins, I want to thank you for the privilege of accepting this award in honor of my father being given by Burlington High School, where he taught and coached for many years. Unfortunately, they were both tragically killed on American Airlines Flight 11. It was the first plane that crashed into the Trade Center. Most of you probably never had the privilege to meet my dad. It's been over 24 years since he died. Mr. T, as the kids called him, was an amazing man, not just as a teacher, but as our father, our mentor, and the rock of our family. Just to share a little insight into what kind of a teacher he was, in a student-based survey, which they touched on a little bit, my dad was voted most understanding teacher for 9 consecutive years.
Other inductees included current girls cross-country coach Jess Nelson, class of 2010, head coach Bob Conceition with his 2012 and 2013 state championship hockey teams, and Joe Sheehan from the class of 2007.
I'm very excited to be here tonight because I love Burlington and I love sports, so this is like the best place for it. There are people here that I haven't seen since high school that are also being inducted, so that's really exciting for them. I think it's awesome that my track coach Lev is on the committee and he's here, and it was so fun to be able just to talk to him, and this is just like a really fun night to think about all the fun times of high school sports and like being back here and being recognized for it's really special.
To win 2 back-to-back state championships is amazing. We had 12 kids on both teams, so they're both being inducted together, so it's a great honor. Well, they were very different. They took different routes. The first team only lost 1 game all year, and the second game had lost 6 games and battled their way into the tournament, and both teams did well in the tournament and won the whole thing. So it just shows you that, you know, a championship happens in different ways.
I'm happy to share it here with my family. Fortunate enough to have them with me and the support. Like you said, it's just a really great honor to be recognized and get to spend the night with a bunch of other great athletes and teams. My athletic career at BHS, probably the best 4 years of my life. I'd say playing golf, going right into basketball and then baseball. I met some of the best friends that I've ever had and lifelong friends that I really treasure the most. And I'd say my career had a lot of ups and downs, and I wish we won more trophies.
Congratulations to each and every one of the inductees for their well-deserved honors. You can watch the full special coming soon to BCAT. And from Cafe Escadrille, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
With fall in full swing, Burlington streets are covered with colorful leaves and clogged storm drains. Up next in our Green Corner, find out how adopting a drain can help keep our waterways clean.
This is a storm drain. We have around 2,800 of these in the town of Burlington. So the way they work is water flows down the roadway, and the roadways are tilted a little bit towards these storm drains, and that allows the water to flow from the roadways into the storm drains, and then they go out through pipes away from this neighborhood. Sometimes they get plugged up. Leaves and twigs fall onto them. They get matted down with water, and sometimes in winter you get a snowfall, you get ice, and they get plugged up. So what we'd like you to do is to help us out. If you're on your way home from school, or if you're just taking a walk around your neighborhood and you notice that there's a storm drain that's filled up with leaves and sticks, or it's covered in ice, clean it off for us. What I do is I just kick them right off. If you're in your neighborhood and this is one of your neighborhood storm drains, just move them right off here, and the water can flow through. You can actually adopt a storm drain. So we have a lot of people who choose to take care of the storm drains in their neighborhood. There's a storm drain right across the road from me that's called Stormy McCleanerson. We have Shania Drain, Drains World. I love these names. If you adopt a storm drain, this is your storm drain. Keep an eye on it, and you can name it whatever you wish. You don't have to name it something fancy. I've adopted the 2 storm drains in front of Town Hall, and I just call them Conservation 1 and Conservation 2. If you want to adopt a storm drain and give it a name, that's up to you.
Speaking of leaves, this weekend is shaping up to be perfect for your fall activities. Meteorologist Peter Brown has your full forecast right after our community calendar.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On October 22nd from 2 to 6 p.m., the Burlington Council on Aging will be having their craft fair. With more than 20 vendors present, stop by to find unique gifts for the upcoming holiday season. Everyone is welcome. On October 23rd from 6 to 10 p.m., the Burlington Firefighter Local 2313 is back with their Oktoberfest fundraiser at King Bowl on 3rd Avenue. For more information and tickets, go to our website. On October 27th from 3 to 5 p.m., Wayside will be having a Halloween party. Enjoy a fun afternoon featuring a bubble show with Bubbles McGee, Bubble Entertainer. A dance party with a DJ from Party Excitement Entertainment. Everyone is welcome. For more information, go to the following website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Well, everyone, this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the middle of October. I know it's hard to believe that we are that far into the fall. See, I'm just so excited about fall, I can't even talk straight. Isn't it something? Now, starting our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the mid-60s. Going to be a little bit cooler out there. That's been a trend that we've been seeing here in the Burlington area over the past couple of weeks. And I hope you've all been doing okay surviving that giant storm that we just saw. It wasn't quite as bad as we were anticipating, so that was definitely some good news in terms of the wind around here in the Burlington area. Didn't have any tree damage. However, we still need to really work on our rainfall deficit. That was something that I was hoping we'd maybe make a little bit more inroads into, but unfortunately, we only got about 1 inch of rain here in the Burlington area. So we're going to keep our eyes out for more rain chances. I know we don't want to really see that, especially when we go into the fall. We want to see those pretty colors on the trees, the leaves staying on there, but we really desperately need that water here in the Burlington area. As we round out the period, getting in towards, I know, October 23rd already. Getting in towards almost November, I know it's hard to believe. Again, our temperatures now cooling down quite a bit. Our highs should only be around 60 at that time of the year. And that's pretty much where we're going to end up this week. Nothing really too warm, unfortunately, for those of us who are hot weather fans, but definitely nothing too chilly. And of course, the one thing you're going to notice is look at when our sunsets are going to be happening. We are not going to be seeing the sunset after 6 p.m., unfortunately, until we get to next March. So get used to those early nightfalls coming. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation for the next 7 to 10 days here in the Burlington area. And looking at our temperature map, they're calling for us, especially here in the New England area, to have above average temperatures. Now, I'm seeing that maybe in the weekend a little bit, but it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing anything crazy in terms of temperatures getting into the 70s and 80s like we saw at the start of the month. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think it's going to be pretty much an average week temperature-wise from what I was seeing from all of our models. As we go ahead, let's take a look at our precipitation chances. And again, this is something we desperately need again here in the Burlington area. We're still in those drought conditions. They are expecting us to have a chance of above average precipitation, and I'm seeing that as well. It looks like next week, especially as we get in towards the start of the work week, it is going to get a little unsettled around here. Doesn't look like anything too heavy, but again, any bit of beneficial rainfall is something we can really look forward to here as we really are pretty dry out there. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, the one good thing about this forecast is you can notice starting out your weekend here, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it looks like it is going to be beautiful out there. Again, going to be pretty chilly out there early Friday morning if you're heading out to work. Temperatures down into the mid-30s and just rebounding up into the upper 50s. So definitely a chill to the air out there, but look at this on Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures in the mid-60s on Saturday, and I might be being a little bit optimistic for Sunday, but I am going to throw that in there for us to be in the low 70s. I think it's going to be a really nice day as we head out there on Sunday. As you head back to work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right through the end of next work week, looks like we're going to have that chance of showery conditions. Might be a little bit more in terms of steadier rainfall on Monday and Tuesday, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to wipe out the drought anytime soon here in the Burlington area. But still, beggars can't be choosers. We will take any type of rainfall we can get, and temperatures, again, staying around average for this time of the year in the upper 50s to the low 60s. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
The Red Devils are keeping their undefeated streak alive, taking another road victory against Melrose last week. Juliana McGrain has all the highlights and all the action in this week's Sport Report.
Hello everyone and welcome back to your weekly sports report. I am Juliana McGrain and let's get right into it for the week. The Red Devils football team had a huge win on the road to Melrose to stay undefeated. Let's check out the highlights.
It was a clash of red as Burlington and Melrose went head-to-head at Fred Green Memorial Field. Both teams started off slow. No points on the board after the first quarter. Then, in the second, the Devils got things rolling. Senior captain Matt Conti took off for a 95-yard touchdown run, giving Burlington the early lead 6-0. Not long after, fellow senior captain Ryan Brooks added it with a 16-yard rush touchdown, and just like that, the Devils were up 12-0. Melrose got on the board before halftime, cutting it 12-7. In the third, the Raiders took their first lead with a 32-yard touchdown pass, making it 14-12 Melrose. But the Devils answered right back. Brooks powered in from 3 yards out, and with a 2-point conversion, Burlington jumped ahead, 20-14. Brooks stayed hot in the fourth, breaking loose for another long touchdown run. The 2-point try was good again, and the Devils were up 28-14. Melrose added one more late touchdown, a 47-yarder, but Burlington's defense shut the door. The Red Devils hang on to stay undefeated, and they'll head back home to face the 4-1 Stoneham Spartans on October 17th.
The Lady Devils soccer team improved to 8-5 after a shutout win over Wakefield on the 6th. Sophomore Sammy Ciccolini and senior Briana Thomas each scored a goal. The team then defeated the Tanners of Woburn on the road 4-2 on the 15th. They hosted Winchester at home but came up short in a 2-1 loss. Red Devils boys soccer fell to Tewksbury on the road 5-2. Senior Josh Newhall scored both goals. They then traveled to Woburn on the 8th where they lost 5-1 and later fell to Winchester on the road in a shutout loss. Giacomo Bernadelli and Ryan Piscatelli competed at the Division II North Golf Tournament on the 14th. Giacomo finished with a score of 82, ranked 32nd overall, and Piscatelli scored an 85 and was ranked 48th. Congrats on both for finishing their high school golf careers. The Lady Devils field hockey team dropped back-to-back road matches, a shutout in Woburn 0-2 and a 1-4 loss in Lexington. Senior Carly Weber scored the only goal in that matchup. The team now has 4 wins, 7 losses, and 2 ties. The Lady Devils volleyball team won back-to-back matches, both scores of 3-0, on the road in Woburn and in Watertown. The team is now 12-3. On October 24th, they'll celebrate senior night before their matchup against Stoneham. We'll be there. You can watch the game live on our YouTube channel at 5:30 p.m. The Red Devils cross-country teams were on the road in Melrose on the 14th. Both teams suffered losses. The girls fell 36-19 and the boys 39-18. Top finishers for the girls was 8th grader Mariska Kilroy, who placed second with a time of 21 minutes and 52 seconds. Senior Roy Kenyake placed 5th for the boys, finishing at 17 minutes and 51 seconds. The girls are still searching for their first win of the season at 0-5, and the boys now stand at 3-2. Over the holiday weekend, both teams competed at the Twilight Meet. In the boys freshman mile, James Roy placed 45th with a time of 13 minutes and 16 seconds. The girls varsity race, 8th grader Mariska Kilroy finished 53rd, coming in at 21 minutes and 16 seconds. Let's get an update on our esports team.
The Mario Kart team picked up a win against Lawrence High School 2-0, improving their record to 2-1. The Fortnite squad also came on top, defeating Comac High School from New York 2-0. Their record stands at 3-1. In Madden, Brady Costas dropped his match to Western High School 0-2, putting his record at 1-2. Tommy Cullen also fell in his match, losing 0-2 to Rushville Consolidated High School, and Gio Delgado continued his hot streak, winning 2-0 over Rushville. He remains undefeated at 3-0.
Next week, we'll bring you the highlights from the Red Devils football game against Stoneham and an update on how the swim team did in Arlington. That's your weekly Red Devils sports report. For more coverage, head over to our sports section online and follow us on X. I have been Juliana McGrain, and have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
We have a special Red Devil shout this week to Briana Thomas, who is the first D1 commit for girls soccer and is leading the way for the program. Let's take a look.
Senior Briana Thomas will be off and running at UMass Lowell next fall, after accepting an offer to continue her soccer career at the Division I level, the highest level of college competition.
It really started my sophomore year. I sent a lot of emails. I asked a lot of coaches to come watch me play, both high school and then through club. And it was just a lot of back and forth. I went on a few unofficial visits, but it was definitely a long process, but very exciting and rewarding.
She's been a leader for the Red Devils not just her senior year, but throughout her time at BHS.
It's a pretty rewarding feeling. That's who I looked up to my freshman and sophomore year, and now to be someone that the younger players can do the same thing, whether it's just leading the warm-up or getting us back in a tough game, it's really exciting and rewarding as well.
Thomas is excited to join the Riverhawks and contribute to their program in the coming season.
That's one of the biggest things that drew me to the school. I think they're really kind, understanding team, and they have a lot of knowledge of the game of soccer, and I think them as well as the girls are really what drew me into the team.
As with every graduating student, she's a little anxious about what the future brings, but also eager for this next chapter.
I'm excited to go to obviously a new college, a new school, and to play at a different level. It's obviously something I've never done before, and it should be highly competitive in a really good environment, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Thomas and her head coach, Daniela D'Souza, have known each other for years. As her time at BHS winds down, she's grateful for the experience, but also sad to leave her home. D'Souza will certainly miss her talent and leadership on the field.
I think she has a really good knowledge of the game, and I think we understand each other a lot, tactically, or just the positions that we play. I feel that we understand each other really well, so I think that is definitely something that I'll miss, the chemistry that we have.
It means so much. Number one, to watch her be able to do this, but number two, I think she's leading the way. She's pushing the needle for us. This might be our first D1 commit ever, possibly. I don't know. No one seems to know what the records are, but at least in my recent memory, she's probably our first D1 commit, and for me, she's leading the way. I don't think she's going to be our last one, and I think she's showing all her teammates what's actually possible and what's out there. So it's really cool that she's kind of been the trailblazer for us, and I'm excited to see, obviously I'm excited to watch her in college. I'm excited to keep track and keep tabs on her, but I'm excited now that everyone else gets to see what Briana's done and hopefully follow in those footsteps.
Congratulations, Briana. We wish you the best of luck at UMass Lowell. This is the Red Devil Shoutout.
Our photo of the week comes from BCAT director Jen Dodge. She captured this stunning shot from an overlook on Mount Moriah in the White Mountains, complete with a rainbow nestled among the scenic mountains and fall foliage. Thanks for sharing this beautiful moment, Jen. Don't forget to send us your photos. The photos could be something you see around town, on vacation, or even photos of your family and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share. Send them to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. This weekend is packed with fun for the whole family. On Saturday, check out the Fit Fest at the mall from 11 to 1, then head to Parks and Recreation's Halloween Spooktacular from 2:30 to 7. On Sunday, the Girl Scouts host Burlington's Trunk or Treat at the high school from 2 to 4 o'clock. That's all from the news desk. I'm Gretchen Carey.